Hey, clap it up, man. Clap it up, man. We were just all witnesses to the Dylan Harper show, man. It's crazy now. If you don't know, feel me? Spurs just came back behind Dylan Harper's 27 points, 10 rebounds. Feel me? Stephen Castle, he chipped in about, 31 points. But the Spurs just came back in game three to take game three, man. Now, this is Strawberry Jam. I'm your host, Jabo. And this is Midnight Madness, man. Even though it's a little bit past midnight, you feel me? This Midnight Madness. But, man, like, the boy Dylan Harper put on a show. Man, now, when Dylan Harper was drafted, he was drafted number two out of Rutgers. When Dylan Harper was drafted, there were a lot of talks about, man, should they move Darren Fox? You know, because now they got Dylan Harper. And, people was worried about how they was going to all fit together. Darren Fox, Castle, you just had back-to-back rookies of the year. Castle, Fox, and Harper, how would it work? And it ended up blossoming. It ended up being a beauty. It ended up being the best thing. It ended up being the best thing that could ever happen. You feel me? And, you know, it's crazy now because it's almost looked at as if, you know, yeah, my bad. But it's almost looked at as if, you know, Dylan Harper's too good to be coming off the bench. So for the rest of this season, yeah, I could see him coming off the bench, no problem. But moving forward, I don't know. We might have to do something about Fox now. Boy, I'm an interim Spurs fan, while the Nets, my team, are and a lot are in limbo. You know, I'm from Jersey, so I'm a Nets fan. You know, unfortunately, but we're the same colors. While the Nets is, you feel me, in limbo right now. I'm an honorary. I'm gonna just sign a little short-term deal with the Spurs, like how LeBron did with the Heat. I'm a net. He just like he was still a Cav. He just went to he just took his talents to South Beach for a little while. That's all. I'm just taking my talents to San Antonio for a 5-year contract. I'll be back. Don't even trip. I'll be back. But yeah, man, Dylan definitely today showed us why he was the number two pick. Feel me? He put on. He's been coming off the bench all season. He's been averaging about 14 off the bench all season, but today he actually had a career high of 27 points and 10 rebounds off the bench. And according to Taylor Rooks, man, she's so fine. According to Taylor Rooks, that was the second most points ever by a rookie that came off the bench. After, who's number one? Guess who? Kobe Bean Bryant, man. So that's some elite company. Feel me? And what's more impressive than his 27 points and 10 rebounds was the fact that he shot 75% from the field. Feel me? Now, excuse the background, don't mind the background. It's a little rough. It's a lot going on. You feel me? It's the basement. We in the basement with it. So, you know, we don't need the neighbors all looking in the window. I got some blinds, but I got a cat who be doing a lot, so I got, you feel me? Just bear with me. But yeah, he also shot 75% from the field, which is unheard of for a rookie. And the thing about Dylan Harper that makes him so great, he's so poised. You of course you could see the fact that his dad was an NBA player and his brother is an NBA player and his mom played basketball in college. You see that basketball pedigree because he's so poised and so comfortable. Yo, in the third and the second half, he was making it look easy. Like the whole game was a fight. The whole game was a struggle. And in that second half, he just made it look easy. Like it was like clear he was the best player on the court. Like nobody could. It was nobody. I even tweeted. Matter of fact, follow me on X, Jabo Too Crafty, Jabo Too Crafty, Crafty. For me, I had to change my whole picture. I just got back on that X, just getting back into the basketball videos because these playoffs got me feeling some type of way. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to get back on the basketball content. So follow me on X. And like I was saying, like, man, you know, the Spurs dynamic guards, they're three dynamic guards. I always tell like my boys, like, yo, I don't think there's no other team in the league right now that has three guards that could get in the paint whenever they want. You might have two. Every team has at least one, most likely. Some teams might have two. A lot of teams. I don't think any team other than the Spurs have three guards. They might have a three, a wing, or they might have a small forward like OKC. Depending on what you consider Jalen Williams. If you want to consider him a two, like only him and Shea. Dort can't get a paint touch whenever you want, but the Spurs have three legit guards who could get in the paint whenever they want. I love the way their team is set up. They got they got three, like I said, three guards who get in the paint whenever they want. They got two snipers out there, Vassell and Champagne, and they got some players who's gonna do all the grind work and the grunt work, and Johnson and Barnes, some veteran players who's gonna, do all the garbage, do all the slack, and all the garbage man work and clean up everything. And then you got the big fish, you got the big star down low, the King Kong, the alien, the king of the jungle, man, Wemby. So I love their team. Them getting this win tonight showed so much resilience, and just the fact that they was able to win. Another thing, I believe I think it was either Taylor Hooks or Candace Parker stated, and I love how they have D Wade and they be having Melo and Candace Parker. They be, because Stephen A. he cool and all, but I like hearing people that actually did it, like being as far as opinionated. Like Stephen A. can ask questions, and but when it comes to the knit and grit of the sport, I like hearing from people who actually played. I don't want to hear like Malika Andrews and all them. They can ask questions. It's cool. They can ask questions and they can set it up and host it. That's fine. But I want to hear from people who played. That's why Inside the NBA is so fire, because we hear from people that actually played. And I know I wander off a lot, but I don't want to wander off too much. To get back to my original point, the Spurs, I just love the way their team is, and the fact that they was able to capture this win on the road in Game 3 without Wemby. As like I was saying, the point that I was making, they lost Game 2 when Wemby played half of it. Wemby played about half the game, and they lost without him at the second half of Game 2. But without him, the whole game today, they was able to pull it out and win. And a big part of that was definitely Dylan Harper, and excuse me, he just came in the second half and just went crazy, and it was just the best time for him to have a career high. And the thing about Dylan Harper is, you like what between him and Fox is almost like, you don't lose anything offensively with Dylan Harper when he's playing. But what you gain is astronomical. What you gain defensively when you put him in the game. So he has a much bigger impact on the game defensively. Bigger body, like that dunk on Robert Williams. Fox would have never dunked that. I don't even think he would have got up and around scoop like that to even get to the cup to dunk that. Like Dylan Harper was he was making Jersey proud, and I've been telling my boys for a long time. Dylan Harper is the best Jersey prospect since Kyrie. He is the best Jersey prospect since Kyrie, and he's making me proud. I've been telling people Dylan Harper has been able to start for the Nets since he was 17. Since he was 17, I think probably going since he was probably a junior in high school. I felt like he could have been the starting point guard for the Nets, and people thought I was looked at me like I was crazy. I remember when Dylan Harper and DJ Wagner played each other in high school. I was telling people like, "Yo, Dylan," because Dylan's a year younger than DJ Wagner, and this is when DJ Wagner was the number one player in the country or whatever, number one point guard in the country. No disrespect to DJ Wagner and the Wagners and Camden. Shout out to all of them, but I was telling people back then, Dill was way better than Wagner. Like, and people couldn't believe it. They thought it was blasphemy that people couldn't believe that. I'm like, yo, he clearly better. Like he dropped like 30, 40 on Camden, and Camden had, man, I was not even gonna get into that. Camden had other top high school players on the team, and Dillon was just Dillon. 40 when they had like so. I've been on the Dylan Harper train, and we because he got drafted to the Spurs, and Coop got drafted to the Mavericks, and everything that happened with the Mavericks happened to the Mavericks because the NBA is clearly, it's clearly some wizardry going on behind closed doors or something. But I'm happy that he got drafted to the Spurs, but because he got drafted to the Spurs, he's not able to flourish as much because he got to share the rock with these dudes. But I think this is gonna make him great, honestly, because now he's able to learn the right way, and he's able to learn how to play without the ball. If he just got drafted to the Wizards, like his dad was saying, he wanted him to get drafted. Like this, like Ron Harper said that Dylan told him. He said he wanted to get drafted to the Wizards, and I get why Dylan Harper said he wanted to get drafted to the Wizards because, you know, he was gonna be able to get. He was gonna be the man. He was gonna get to be the man. He was gonna get to do whatever he wanted over there. Honestly, and it was gonna be kind of close to home, so it would have been nothing for his family to come down. You feel me, from Jersey to watch all his games. You feel me? So I get why Dylan wanted to go to the Wizards, but I'm happy he went to the Spurs because, like I said, not only is he gonna learn the right way, but this is gonna help him grow and help him be a beast. So you know, shout out Jersey, and yeah, man. But a couple of other things I just wanted to say about this game is that love the way Castle came out at the beginning. Came out aggressive from the beginning. I felt like from the very beginning, Castle wanted to show like, okay, Wemby not here, I can hold it down and be the best player on a playoff team. I can be the best player on the team and lead my team to victory. He came out very aggressive, very strong. I love the way Castle came out. It was almost like at first it was the Scoot Henderson versus Castle show. Like Scoot, and I love that young battle because it's like Scoot Henderson, number 3 pick. This is third year. Drafted the same year as Wemby, number 3. This is third year in the league. Castle, this is second year in the league. I think number 4 pick, rookie of the year. These is 2 young guards. They probably like 20 and 21 years old, 21 and maybe 22 years old, respectively. 2 young guards battling it out on the West Coast. I loved it. You feel me? I love seeing it. They was going at it, and then after a while, it was almost like Drew Holiday just started taking over the game low key. Like he just started having his way. Him and Robert Williams, they was going crazy. You know, and it was almost like they started taking over the game up until Dylan Harper started taking over. Up until he took over the game, and then he just shut it down. Well, after he shut it down, Fox and Castle basically just they just put the icing on the cake and just wrapped it up. But it was a done deal. By the time Harper came out the game after taking over, they was up like 10 or 12. They started off down like 10. By the time he came out, they was up like 10. I think he had a plus minus of, don't quote me on this, I might be wrong, but I want to say I think he had about a plus minus of 25, if I'm not mistaken, which is crazy. A plus minus is basically, y'all know what a plus minus is, like how much basically how much does my team score? How many more points does my team score versus the other team scores when I'm in the game? So if I'm in the game and my team scores 25 points and the other team scores 10 points while I'm in the game for a 10-minute stretch, let's say, then that will give me a plus minus of positive 15. You feel me? Because we scored 15 more than we gave up. He had like a plus minus. I want to. I might be wrong, but I want to say like 25, which is crazy. That's not normal. People usually have around 10, 8, 5, 12, 15. Plus 25 is is very impressive. So as a rookie, he was putting on, and that dunk on Robert Williams was just an exclamation mark, man. I did 6 backflips when he dunked that joint on Robert Williams. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I made another tweet. That's why you gotta follow me on X. I made another tweet explaining how, you know, Denny, he's a great player, and he downhill Denny. That's a great nickname for him because he's a really good player, very strong, very aggressive player, and I respect that. But he be foul baiting too much for me, man. Man, I'm so proud of the referees today. Man, I love the way I don't even watch as much as the regular season because it's just so much. A lot of people don't be playing, and then there's just a lot of foul baiting. It's a lot of like not like I just catch certain games, the big games when I could catch the big games, But I love the playoffs. And one of the big reasons why I love the playoffs is because I love how they officiate in the playoffs. Like, you're not about to just be drawing fouls, unless you Shea, I guess. You're not about to just be drawing fouls. OKC, I almost look at them like KFC, Kansas City. I almost look at them like, they're going to get every single call and then some just because of, who they are. When you them guys, listen, what Future say, you do what you want when you popping. When you them guys, you get away with anything. Like, Shea and OKC gonna get every call they want. That's why Devin Booker complaining. It looked like he just complaining, but he's real. What he's saying with him and Dylan Brooks is saying is true, man. It's ridiculous the way they be officiating these games. You know, Devin Booker came down, did a regular shot. They called an offensive foul. Shea came down and foul baited. They gave him the foul call. They did the same thing basically, but you know, Alex Caruso telling the refs to call a tech because Devin Booker tried to save the ball. I don't know, man. It's crazy. They like it's like Kansas City in football. They're gonna get every call and then some. They're gonna make the refs. They have an agenda. At the end of the day, it's a business. That's why if you want to take up the champs, you really got to take them out because the refs ain't gonna give it to you. The refs ain't gonna make it no easier. It's like you playing against 8 people out there, the 5 players and the 3 refs, or the 2 refs, however many refs be out there. But getting back to the Spurs, man, I love the way that they were officiating because Denny was not getting no foul baiting calls, man. They was not giving it up to him. Like you can't just run as hard as you can to the rim and just throw the ball and just get like he was looking at the refs like, no, bro, stop, play basketball, make a move, get some separation, shoot a jump shot. Dude, just stop. He just running at the rim and just blindly throwing the ball off the backboard and looking for calls. Like that's not basketball, bro. Make a move, spin move, back, jump, something like step back, something. But yeah, man, it was a great game. Great game. Philly and Celtics was a great game. And yeah, I just really can't say enough about Harper, man. Another great takeaway from this game. Another great takeaway. Can't say it enough. I love Spurs when they put Carter Bryant in the game. I was saying earlier when they was down like 10 points, 14, I'm like, yo, that's why I'm gonna start live streaming while I watch the game because I'm almost like Tony Romo be like, predicting the football plays before it be happening, how he be knowing the plays and predicting what they need to do, and then they do it. I feel like I'm like, because even right before they put, I said, yo, at the very beginning of the first half, of the second half, I said, yo, they need to put Harper in the game and don't take him out the game until he get tired. So he's just tired and he need a little breather. And I was like, yo, they need to put Carter Bryant and Harper in the game, man. And they need to take Kennard out. I was either take out one of the snipers or take out Kennard and just shuffle between Harper, Fox, and Castle between the two guard spots. Like, just shuffle between two, leave two of them in. Really, what I was saying today was leave Harper in and just shuffle between Fox and Castle and just let Harper just rock and let Bryant rock and let them play the five, whatever. It don't even matter. I'm like, yo, just let them. They did that exactly. Put Keldon Johnson in there too, and they took over the game, man. They took over the game, man. Harper put on a masterclass, man. But can't say enough about Carter Bryant's defense, man. He's one of the best young defender in this game right now, and he hustles. He got great footwork, great technique. Not lazy, strong, athletic, quick, good instincts. Like one of the best young defenders coming up in this game, man. He did great. Like the Spurs do an excellent job drafting. They got all big, versatile players who could defend mostly. Like it's crazy. And yeah, it's just crazy because it's like, after that technical, you know, after that technical foul, all the momentum just went from Scoot because Scoot had a great first half, but Harper had a great, amazing second half. So it's like all the momentum just went right from Scoot to Harper. And I just love seeing these young guards battle it out and grind it out. Even the older guards, Drew Holiday, Fox, you know, the older players, just veterans. I love just seeing these guys battle it out. And one of the last thing I wanted to say is, I watched the game on Amazon Prime today, and I noticed that they have something called NBA Nightcap. Taylor Rooks and something called NBA Nightcap. And I'm just like, man, that reminds me of when ESPN made Come On Man. If you know, you know. If you're old enough to know, you feel me? When Ed Lover had, what was it, Come On Son? He had like this little thing. And then ESPN made their own thing called Come On Man. Now Amazon Prime got NBA Nightcap. Come on, bro. We know who got Nightcap. You know who got the real Nightcap. I'm about to watch the real Nightcap, man. They got NBA Nightcap. With a bunch of people we don't even really care to see. Like, we love Chuck and Shaq and them. We love when Melo was up there with, Jamal Crawford and them. You know, we love when D Wade is up there with Candace Parker, but they got this NBA Nightcap with Taylor Rooks. Of course, she beautiful. We like looking at you. But they got like Dirk Nowitzki and just a couple of people that we don't really. I mean, we love their game, Dirk Nowitzki, but as commentators, it's like they got some people that I don't even remember the other people they got up there. They got some reputable basketball players up there, of course, but they not like interesting enough as commentators for you to wanna. I was just really watching a couple minutes of it just to look at Taylor Rooks' fine ass. You feel me? But oh yeah, Blake Griffin. I mean, they cool and all, but they not that entertaining. They cool, but I don't know. But I just found it funny that they had to call it a nightcap. Like, come on, y'all couldn't come up with your own name. Y'all know where y'all got nightcap from. Y'all know where y'all. But whatever though, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how these come. It's crazy. It's sad, man. But it's like when Instagram came out with videos and took Vine off the block. It's crazy. You can't have nothing to yourself. But I'm about to copyright my joint because before they try to, before they, I don't know, this is sick out here now, man. But this was the first installment of this new thing I got going on called Midnight Madness. You feel me? Hopefully over time y'all could check in with me, and I'm gonna try to be consistent on this page. After all the games, just come chop it up. Ain't nobody really in here now, but hopefully over time, we'll get the viewership up and all that, and y'all could just probably come chop it up with me about some hoops, man. I could talk hoops all day, talk hoops with the best of them. Feel me? I feel like I have good takes. I feel like I see things before they happen. I be calling it out. I literally was like, yo, they need to just put Harper in the game. They don't play. I'm like, they're not playing Harper down the stretch enough. Forget the game plan, and I know coaches sometimes like no, but they're supposed to play this many minutes, and then everybody's supposed to play their minutes, and at this moment these players supposed to. Nah, man, forget all that, man. Put my boy in the game, let him go crazy, man. Like he got this, man. He got this. Like like, he was making it look easy, easy money, easy money. It was like it was like taking candy from a baby. Like that spin off Drew Holiday to get into the lane, the swipe through on Henderson when he took baseline and banged it on Robert Williams' head. Like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I'm one of the biggest Dylan Harper fans. Don't get me wrong, and even I've been following him since his junior year in high school. You know, since his sophomore going into junior year. You know, since the summer of his sophomore going into, since he was 16. I've been following him, even, and I've seen him do some amazing things, but even I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was so proud out there. And Stephen Castle, he low key remind me of John Morant a lot too. Just big, just better defensively, and he's probably not as prolific as John Morant is on offense, but he's pretty freaking good on offense. You feel me? He's pretty damn good on offense, and he's like just a better defender. John Morant though, he's probably not as good as a passer, or just probably not as great as John Morant on offense, but he reminds me a lot of John Morant. So if John Morant can't play no more at the level that he wants to because due to injury or whatever other reason, they was just talking about how his shoe is still the one that it's still like the top selling shoe despite all of this, because but if we can't watch John Morant no more, we can at least have Stephen Castle. Like I said, he not just dunking on just everybody like John Morant was, but Stephen Castle's pretty close, man. It's a good it's a pretty good replacement if we can't see Ja at his best like we did at one time, man. But man, there's a strawberry jam. Y'all, you feel me? Y'all mess with me. Y'all follow me on X. Get in tune, tap in, and I definitely will be back here soon, man. So it's your boy Jabo signing off. Until next time.